Hello everyone, welcome back for another Star Trek The Official Starships Collection review. In front of me now I have issue number 86, the Gorn Starship as seen on Star Trek The Original Series, the remastered edition that is. And as usual, I have a magazine and it comes with the ship, so I'll put this aside for a moment and get to the magazine. Alright, first off, you'll notice the rather interesting image of the ship on the cover. Kind of a weird looking design, I would say, with some specification information briefly noted down here in the corner. It is considered a warship launched in the 23rd century, of course, with disruptors for weapons, and its top speed is warp 7.5. So you turn the page and follows the usual magazine format, table of contents, specification information, and of course your stand assembly. It is operated by the Gorn Kahegami. I hope I said that right. Again, considered a warship in the 23rd century, 220 meters long approximately, with warp 0.75 being the top speed and disruptors for weaponry. Turn the page and you have a different view of the ship as opposed to the cover. So that's always nice. And some text and basic information about the ship, of course. And more from the Gorn. And from the episode Arena. Here's some more from them. The specification or slash layout, centerfold, splash page showing you where all the components are. And oddly enough, this is the scene from Inner Mirror Darkly with the Gorn's all CGI rendering, unfortunately. But this is in the Mirror universe, kind of different take and look on the Gorn. And here's the section on the designing process of the Gorn ship. And here's a section on the remastering of the original series, which I call magazine filler, as this probably have nothing or little to do with the actual ship itself. So yeah, this talks about that process that they went through early on, a few years ago, and more on that, including this page from Who Mourns for Andonius. I can never say that right either. Or Who Mourns for Andonius. Yeah, I think that's right. And more on that, including the wreck of the Constellation seen in the Doomsday Machine. And the on-screen appearance page. Alright, so it's appeared in the episode Arena. That is the remastered version. In the original episode, it was simply seen as kind of like a light, so you never really got a look at the ship, probably on purpose because of budget constraints. But when CBS remastered the original series and of course released it on Blu-ray and iTunes, etc., they changed pretty much all, if not most, of the visual effects and made them look more modern. And for scenes such as Arena, when you see the Gorn ship on the view screen, or even the space shots, you actually see a ship this time as opposed to just a simple blip of light, as a lot of the alien ships on the original series appeared at the time. So yeah, that's kind of nice that we actually have a look at what a Gorn ship looks like, considering we never saw it until then. But yeah, it was featured in the episode Arena on the original series and designed by Neil Ray. And here's some interesting trivia. You'll notice this fellow here, the actor who portrays this character, was actually Lurch on the Addams Family series, also during the 60s. And so yeah. And next will be Federation Timeship Eon from Star Trek Voyager, so that ought to be cool. And on the back you get an image of the ship on the magazine. So that rounds up issue number 86, the magazine, and I'll put that aside and get to the model itself. looking at it in the box, it appears to be a little bit on the small side. So we'll see. Let's get it out. And stand. Plastic. Alright. And my first impression, simple. It's a very odd design, as I noted earlier looking at the magazine. The paint is alright. There really isn't much to the ship. I'm assuming these are the warp engines, and these are the warp engines, and these are maybe impulse engines or phasers or whatnot. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know much about this ship. You know, this is the design that was only created for the remastered series. It was never seen ever again, nor referenced ever again. So this is kind of like one of those one-time things to make things look, feel, and appear better. And you know, for the most part, it did its job. You know, it's got some nice paint on there, a greenish, goldish kind of a look to it. There's no symbols on the model that would tell you that this is Gorn. If you gave me this maybe a few years ago, and even before this collection started, and asked me what this was, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you. To be honest, I wouldn't be able to even tell you if it was a Star Trek ship, if not for the round parts of the warp nacelles there. It's a very strange, and in my opinion, rather ugly design. That's not the fault of the designer, by the way, or maybe it is, but it just, to me, it's just it's very alien and weird. But I guess that was the whole point. It's mostly comprised of metal. You know, of course, the smaller portions, and definitely these nacelle and engine pods are plastic. But the majority of it is all metal. And you can see down there just like parts where the parts of the model were joined together, of course. So yeah, I'm sorry I don't know much about it. I would defer you to watching Arena, the remastered version, which you can find on Blu-ray and of course on iTunes. So it's probably a cheaper route for you if you just want to see it, or YouTube. And of course it comes with the stand that simply says Gorn Starship with the part number. And the stand goes like this, and the ship kind of slips in there like that. So that's it, folks. That is the Gorn Starship, seen in Arena, the remastered version of Star Trek the Original Series. If you're a fan of TOS, and if you're getting everything TOS related, then of course I would pick this up. If you're cherry picking and just hand picking certain models out of the collection, whether it be Starfleet, Klingon, Romulan, Borg, whatever, I would definitely avoid this. It's not worth your time. But being that I am a completist is why I am getting everything, whether I necessarily like the ship or not. And of course, it will have its place proudly displayed on the shelf along with all the other ships or models in the collection. I'm glad that Eaglemoss included something Gorn. You know, thus far we have ships from Starfleet, Federation, pre-Federation, Borg, Klingon, Romulan, Cardassian, Ferengi, Xindi, Andorian, Vulcan, Gorn, Andorian, Hirogen, Species 8472, Talaxian, you know, and on and on and on and on. So this makes a nice ship, nice addition to the collection, but it's not something that I would have run out to go and get my hands on. So yeah, that's issue number 86, and until then, live long and prosper, and I'll talk to you guys later. Be safe.